Cristiano Ronaldo is one of the best footballers of all time. Ronaldo has played for some of the world's top clubs, including Manchester United, Real Madrid, Juventus, and Al Nassr. He has won numerous league titles, 5 Ballon d'Ors, and over 850 career goals. Beyond his club success, Ronaldo also led Portugal to international glory, winning the Euros in 2016 and the 2019 Nations League. But today, boys, we are going to be testing Ronaldo's skills on the side of the pitch, on the sideline. Cristiano Ronaldo is now a football manager, and we are going to see how much he can achieve off the pitch and see if we can compare it to what he achieved on the pitch. This is going to be a crazy simulation. Make sure to like and subscribe, and let's go see how Cristiano Ronaldo can do as a football manager. Here we go, boys. Cristiano Ronaldo is now a football manager. As you can see from some of his managerial stats, he's actually already quite a decent coach. He's got good technical stats, good mental stats, good attacking. In the mentals, his determination is 20, which I think sums up Ronaldo as a football player as well. And if we actually look towards the bottom right of the screen, we can see Ronaldo's preferred tactics and formation, which is very interesting. Ronaldo's preferred formation is a 4-3-3, playing adventurous football, not pressing as much, and being a technical coach. I think this is quite interesting if we think about some of the teams he played in, like Real Madrid, playing a 4-3-3 with obviously that amazing front three of Benzema, Bale, and Ronaldo. Maybe it was influenced by that. And if we also have a look here to his tendencies, he likes to counter-attack, work the ball into the box, play out the defence, and uses intense pressing. So quite the modern football type of manager. But as you can see already, Ronaldo has actually already had a managerial job in 2027. He was actually the manager of Nottingham Forest as his first job, which is quite a prestigious job. He's gone into Nottingham Forest on the 17th of February, but on the 30th of November, he was sacked for losing the dressing room. And I do want to point out, Nottingham Forest in this save is a Premier League team, so to step in for your first job as a Premier League manager is quite intense. Maybe that's to do with his reputation, or maybe that's to do with him having decent mental stats already as a coach. But now you boys have seen his manager profile, what Cristiano Ronaldo, the manager, is all about. We are going to do a long simulation now. We are going to go through the next couple of years, coming back every 1, 2, or 3 years, and seeing what Ronaldo is doing in the managerial world. I have absolutely no idea where he's going to end up. Like I said, his stats already for a manager, as a young manager, are quite good. Let's see how he progresses as a manager, and let's see where his next job may lie. So boys, we have gone 2 years into the future, and Cristiano Ronaldo has found his next job as a football manager. And let's just say, I could not put a club and a manager 2 worlds apart. He's only gone and signed for Queen's Park in Scotland. Now, as you can see, Queen's Park finished 11th in the Scottish Premiership, avoiding relegation by 4 points. If we have a look at the team here, as you can see, it is set out in that Cristiano Ronaldo 4-3-3. And as you can see, boys, Cristiano Ronaldo has played 22 games. He's won 8, he's drawn 9, and lost 5. He's scored 27 goals with 22 against. Now, for a team that is 11th in the Scottish Premiership, you know, fighting relegation, he has had 17 results where he hasn't lost and only 5 where he's lost. So to be fair to him, he's actually doing quite well. In the managerial stats, I'm not seeing too much improvement over the last couple of years. You know, his tendencies, his preferred formation has stayed the same. It does say at the moment he is studying for his Continental Pro license at 46 years old, so he is still working his way up as a manager. But like I said, this is quite a strange appointment. I mean, Cristiano Ronaldo at Queen's Park in Scotland is the last place I would have expected him to. You know, you might have expected him maybe to go to Portugal, maybe go back to Spain, you know, the lower leagues of England. I don't know, but in his first 22 games as manager, he's avoided relegation with Queen's Park. He's done a decent job. Let's go a bit further into his career now and see what else he can get up to. Okay, boys, the year is 2031, 1 year on from the season before with Queen's Park, and Cristiano Ronaldo is still the Queen's Park manager. He has now played 61 games as the manager. Well, not played, I guess. He has managed 61 games. He's won 22, drawn 20, and lost 19. But if we actually look at the league table, Queen's Park are now a 7th place Scottish Premiership team. You know, a vast improvement from that 11th place. Of course, in the Scottish Premier, it enters this weird phase where the top 6 and then the bottom 6 play against each other. But it looks like he's done very well. You know, he's improving. And in this league, Junior Krupa is for some reason at Hibernian. I mean, that is an absolute mad one. And Carboni is also at Rangers. So this is a Scottish Prem on steroids. Again, if we look at his tactic, he's still playing that 4-3-3. You know, he's got a few regens coming into the team. He's got a striker here in Moses, you know, with 16 finish, and he looks like a decent player. His left winger's got a bit of pace. So it looks like Ronaldo actually signing-wise as well and transfers, he's looking quite good. Mixing in regens with a few more experienced heads is a good way to go. I mean, yeah, there's not really much to say at this point. You know, Ronaldo is a manager of himself as well. He's still developing as a manager. He's now got his Continental Pro license. His stats are improving, especially mentally. Them coaching stats, though, you do think you need to get them a bit more improved is the word I'm looking for, you know, upgraded to go and manage the proper clubs in the bigger leagues. You know, you can't be going in with 4 defending and 8 tactical and this and that, but he's learning his trade. He's at Queen's Park. He's doing well. Let's simulate in to the future a bit more and see if he still stays at Queen Park. Now, lads, the year is 2033 and Cristiano Ronaldo has left Queen's Park to take on a new managerial role. Cristiano Ronaldo has made his way over to England and he is now manager of Ipswich Town. As you can see here, in 2031, Queen's Park sacked Ronaldo after failing to improve the club's financial situation. I think that's quite a harsh reason to be sacked, the club's finances. He took them from 11th to 7th in what I'd seen. And in 2031, he was hired as Ipswich manager. The year is now 2033 and Ronaldo is still at Ipswich, so he has been there for 2 years. So Cristiano Ronaldo is now the Ipswich manager. His coaching stats don't seem to have improved, but the mentals are obviously still looking strong. If we look at this Ipswich team, they are currently 14th in the league with a 9th media prediction. Ronaldo has played 75 as manager, won 25, drawn 25 and lost 25. That's a bit strange. If we look tactically, again, he is still playing his 4-3-3 system. He's got ex-Barcelona midfielder in there, Pablo Tor, who's been quite a good midfielder on his day. Again, he's still got a lot of these regens, a pacey striker there up front. And like I said, boys, if we look into Ipswich Town, they are 14th in the Championship as it stands. There is still one more game to play. He could move himself up into 13th. If we have a look at some of the stats here through the leagues as well, this would show us a bit more how Cristiano Ronaldo plays his football. He's had the fewest shots against, most possession. He's 7th. Most dribbles made for Ronaldo. That's quite shocking. He's not in the top 8. Fewest conceded. He's also not in there. Best pass completion, he's in there. Most tackles, he's in there. So best pass, most tackles, fewest shots against, he's in there. So he's looking quite defensive, really, as the team stats show us. But yeah, like I said, boys, he's manager of Ipswich Town. If we look into his milestones, there's not been really anything that has happened. I mean, he's won manager of the month sometimes at Queen's Park. But yeah, Ronaldo is now in the English leagues. He's now in the Championship again, working his way up as a football manager. Let's simulate a few more seasons. Let's see if he can take Ipswich to the Premier League. Now, lads, we all know Ronaldo loves a challenge, okay? He loves a change of scenery, but this guy cannot stay at one club. The year is now 2035, and Cristiano Ronaldo is the West Brom manager. Ronaldo at the Hawthorns. Ronaldo is now the manager of West Brom. If we look at West Brom, they're currently 15th in the Sky Bet Championship. Funnily enough, Ipswich, his former team, is up into 9th place while Ronaldo is in 15th. Again, if we look at this West Brom team, of course, now in 2035, we are mainly going to be looking at regens within the squad. Somehow Marc Bernal, the talented Barcelona midfielder, has ended up at West Brom. I mean, this is just, I don't even know what's going on at this point. Like I said, he's still playing his 4-3-3. He's not changing his tactics where, to be fair, over his career so far, he's not had any major success, but it's not done him too bad, I guess. He's been West Brom manager at this point for 18 games. He's won 7, drawn 6 and lost 5. That win percentage at a lot of the clubs has been around that 35 to 40% mark, so he's not yet, got into the point where he's a manager who's winning more games than losing and, really dominating the leagues. But look, I mean, he's still on his journey. At this point, boys, in 2035, he's been to Forest, Queen's Park, Ipswich and West Brom. He has clearly got still some of that English heritage inside of him, Forest, Ipswich, West Brom. Some teams with a lot of history in the English leagues, of course, but Cristiano Ronaldo is now at the Hawthorns. Let's simulate a little bit further and let's see if West Brom is going to be the team that he takes into the Premier League. He has been flirting around these lower leagues for a while now. Let's see if he can get into a major top 5 league. Boys, the day has come. The man over there was a Premier League player and now he is a Premier League manager. Cristiano Ronaldo, the manager of Sheffield United. Again, boys, one of the teams you would just never expect Ronaldo to be stood on the sideline of. And boys, I can reveal that Cristiano Ronaldo as a Premier League manager. Yeah, he got relegated. He got relegated first season in the Prem. He got absolutely relegated. I mean, as you can see though at the bottom here, the relegation fight is so tough. He went down on 36 points. You had Southampton and Burnley on 37. Forest, his former club, on 39. If we actually look at the schedule here, at the end of the season, he did in fact bottle it to Everton at home. They lost 1-0 at home. They had a game against Burnley where they lost 1-0 as well, a relegation rival. Ronaldo bottled it. Again, boys, if we look at this Sheffield United tactic, it's still the 4-3-3. The man is playing Chris Rigg at striker, the midfielder. They actually have some quite talented regens here. They've got Uegro. They've got Paz there on the right wing as well, who looks like an amazing player, 6'4". And for the first time, if we actually look at the transfer history of Ronaldo as well, he's not afraid of spending money. As you can see here, £62 million spent in the Premier League. He is a manager who brings in a lot of players. But yeah, boys, for Cristiano Ronaldo, he made it back to the Premier League 10 years later from being Nottingham Forest manager. He made it back to a Premier League job, but he just didn't quite have enough to keep a team like Sheffield United in the Premier League, unfortunately. I think from this point now, it is going to be very interesting. He's got the reputation of being a Premier League manager now. His coaching stats aren't really improving, but it is Cristiano Ronaldo. This man has one of the biggest reputations in football. We're going to simulate a little further now. Will Cristiano Ronaldo stay at Sheffield United in the Championship Championship, or could he potentially move to another major league and try and become a manager of another club? Let's see what Ronaldo does in 2038 onwards. Yes, boys, we are back with this Ronaldo career simulation. I know I might look like I'm about to rob your gaff, but I promise I'm not.
Manchester police are looking for a man they say robbed a store at gunpoint. Officers say shortly before 8 p.m. Wednesday, the suspect walked into the Quick Stop on Varney Street. He used violence and ran off with at least 4 EAFC gift cards, the currency used on the game EAFC, and a football magazine full of pictures of Manchester United player Joshua Zirkzee. Anybody who recognizes him is asked to contact Manchester police.
Let's see how we got on with Sheffield United in the Championship and if he even stayed there. So Ronaldo did actually stay at Sheffield United for another season. If we look at Sheffield United's season in the Championship, he actually finished 5th in the table, but he did not go up in the playoffs. Let's see where they went out. They actually lost to Wolves. It was in the playoff semi-final. Wolves is a tough draw, to be fair. I'm going to guess at this point they've still got quite a decent team. I know his reputation and stuff is quite good, but his coaching ability has not increased over this whole simulation. He's defended him for like these 9s, 8s, 4s, 5s have always been this bad. He's been managing in like the lower leagues of England, like the lower league teams, you know, Sheffield United, West Brom, Ipswich, you could say. He peaked when he was at Forest at the start. I mean, I don't know how he got that Forest job off the rip. Maybe just the sheer reputation of the man when he retired, you know, to have that first job at that club maybe got him the job. But yeah, it's mad. I mean, he appears to still be playing Chris Rigg up front as well, which, I mean, each to their own, but that is just an awful decision. But I don't know, man. I guess at this point, 55 years old, I expected a little bit more from Ronaldo's career. Maybe he's going to be a late bloomer as a manager, but let's simulate a bit further in the future. Let's see if he sticks with Chef or if he moves on to a new club. Okay, boys, we've gone 3 years into the future and Ronaldo has joined a club that he used to play for. Could it be United? Could it be Juventus? Maybe he's gone back to Sporting. No, the guy's gone to Al Nassr. He's now at Al Nassr. I mean, listen, I said when he was at these lower league English clubs, you know, take a step in management, you know, go to a higher league, you know, try and push yourself, Ronaldo. He's gone to Al Nassr in the Saudi league. Now, of course, Al Nassr in the Saudi league, lots of money, you know, they've got a 4-star reputation now, so I guess you could say compared to a championship club, being the manager of Al Nassr is probably better. But in terms of him winning trophies and getting things done, you know, you want to see him in these top leagues. He's not even been in like the La Liga, the Serie A, he's been nowhere. So Ronaldo is now the manager of Al Nassr. If we look at his tactic, again, he's playing with this 4-3-3. I can imagine some of the regens that are in the team are probably quite insane. This winger looks quite good. You know, obviously, Al Nassr known for signing players at the tail end of their careers. This goalkeeper looks great. But I just expect a bit more. It's Ronaldo, you know, the personality of the man, the ambition that he has, you know, to go to Al Nassr at 58 years old as a manager. I do really think, boys, like I keep mentioning, these coaching stats are completely holding him back. I don't know how he's had no development at all with that determination. His adaptability is good. His motive, like, where's the development? I mean, he won the Asian Champions League this year with Al Nassr, so I guess that's something in 2041. He did actually get promoted too with Sheffield United in 2040 here. As you can see, he was at Sheff. He finished second in the Sky Bet Championship. Did he get sacked from Sheffield United? What happened here? He left the manager role. Wow, so he got them promoted and then left. I mean, that's a very strange position. You know, would you prefer to be a Premier League manager or an Al Nassr manager? That's a very interesting decision. It was actually Axel Disasi that took over from him. I mean, what world are we in now? Let's simulate a little bit more into the future again. Let's see if Ronaldo can push himself to the next step now. Al Nassr could be a good stepping stone into a top 5 league club. Do you know in life, lads, when you think you're having a bit of momentum, you know, things are going along the right way, you finally followed the right path. The one thing you don't do is end up the manager of Czech Republic. Now, no offence if you're from Czech Republic, right? But can Ronaldo stop, you know, going to these clubs that seem like, oh my God, he's onto something here, you know, he's going to start progressing. Why do you want to be the manager of Czech Republic? I mean, is the manager of the Czech Republican team the 46th ranking in the world? I mean, he drew against Germany recently, like, he is still playing that 4-3-3. If we have a look at the captain of Czech Republic, I mean, yeah, decent players, but like, you know, I think I'd rather him be at Al Nassr. He looks incredible. If we look what happened at Al Nassr as well, he actually just left his manager role again, so he didn't get sacked. He won the Asian Champions League, of course, what we mentioned, but he just left, and he decided he wanted to go into international football, and with Czech, I mean, I'd rather him still be at Al Nassr, to be honest. At least he could have won some sort of, you know, Asian Champions League, the Saudi Pro League, etc. I mean, I guess there's not really much to talk about here. I mean, Czech Republic, there's not really even much we can look at. Let's go to the next couple of years and see if he can, God knows where he's going to end up next, probably Syria. Right, lads, you join me in 2050 now. A big sim into the future, and Ronaldo is now 66 years old. What are we thinking, boys? You think he's going to be at a big job? He's gone to Ukraine. He's been the manager of Ukraine for 5 years. First of all, if we look at the Czech Republic job, he resigned from the Czech Republic job. Obviously, he didn't win anything with Czech Republic. And now he's become the manager of Ukraine. I mean, and boys, just to show you, just to switch the webcam to the other side, the only thing that he's actually done with Ukraine is get them relegated from the European International League. So, I mean, what do we even do here? He's been there for 4 years and 180 days. He must have found some mint gaff in Ukraine or something. He's 66 years old. And if I think of Cristiano Ronaldo as a manager at 66 years old, I'm thinking he's gone back to Sporting. Maybe he goes back to Al Nassr or something, you know, at the tail end of his managerial career. What are you doing, lad? What are you doing? Why are you at Ukraine? Again, if we look at the senior squad, he's still playing this 4-3-3 that he's achieved next to nothing with. I mean, Ronaldo, listen, mate. Class at overhead kicks. Great goal scorer. Maybe management's not for him. We're going to keep on going until he retires, boys. Let's see where he ends up next. Lads, when I thought all hope was lost, when I thought Ronaldo was throwing the towel in, he's finally made a managerial choice of club/country that is worth something. We are now in 2054 and the man is managing Portugal. Finally, he's doing something here that kind of makes sense in my brain. I can see this happening. If we look at the Portuguese national team, they are 6th ranking in the world. You know, they've got a bit of reputation here. And let me tell you some better news. Cristiano Ronaldo has won the European Football Championship, the Euros, and he has won the World Cup. Finally, the man has done something. Ronaldo has won the World Cup with Portugal. That is absolutely that is perfect. This is what we needed. I actually feel like I'm going to start crying. I mean, we are now in 2054. The man is 70 years old and he has won the World Cup with Portugal. It's brilliant. I mean, if you look at this history here on the right, boys, you know, in international management, he went from Czech Republic to Ukraine to Portugal and he's done it. You know, he's been around the English clubs. He's finally like, this is amazing. This is brilliant. This is absolutely amazing. I mean, I'm buzzing for him. I mean, he still can't coach, but he's won a World Cup and he's won a Euros and he's done it in 2052 and 2054 as well. He's done it back to back. Amazing, Ronaldo. I mean, if we look at some of the stars in this Portuguese squad, let's just have a look through some of these players. That striker's amazing. You've got a winger here. He looks absolutely ridiculous. He has inherited here a very, very talented Portuguese team. Portugal are always good in continental competition, but this squad here, I mean, look at these regens as we're just flicking through. These are absolutely insane. I mean, Ronaldo so far has been a terrible manager, but with these sorts of players, to be honest, I'm not actually surprised that he has won something. Absolutely unbelievable players. That goalkeeper's ridiculous as well. Wow. But finally, Ronaldo has won something, lads. Oh, I could cry. I could cry. Like I said, boys, we're going to keep on simulating until he retires. But maybe off this, maybe he could get a big club job. Can he go to a club and win a Champions League now? Or a Major League title? I'm so proud of him. So proud. Let's see where he ends up next, lads. Finally, we've got something. Okay, boys, this is day 3 for me of tracking Cristiano Ronaldo's managerial year. We are now in 2056. Of course, boys, you have just seen that Portugal won the World Cup and the Euros under Ronaldo, which is amazing. Let's see where he is in 2056. And as you can see, boys, at 72 years old, he is still at Portugal. I mean, why would he leave? Euros and a World Cup back to back is absolutely incredible. I expect him to stay here for the rest of his career, but we know what Ronaldo's like. You know, he's ended up at West Brom at some point. If we look at his history and his milestone, as you can see, he was actually at the European International League runners-up in 2055. So in 2055, he actually nearly won the Euros League as well. So Ronaldo with Portugal, you know, his home country, he has found a real sense of success. At most of the other clubs, you know, he hasn't achieved much in his career, and clearly at Portugal, he is playing absolutely amazing as a manager. And what's so interesting, I don't know if this is just a football manager thing with managers and it's a preset, but he has never changed from this 4-3-3. Every time I've clicked on his tactic, he doesn't change. So yeah, boys, I mean, we're coming to the end of his career. You know, he's 72 years old. I don't expect him to go on much longer. We're going to simulate just 2 years this time, because I am aware that he is 72. He's probably around that retirement age. Let's see where he ends up. Now, boys, we all know Cristiano Ronaldo as the player. Ambitious, always looking for the next move, always looking for a new challenge. And in his 70s, I thought, you know what? You're just going to stay at Portugal. You're in your hometown. Your fans love you. You've won a World Cup, of Euros. But it's Cristiano Ronaldo we're talking about, and he's actually moved again. And it didn't even make sense where he's gone. The guy's took the Italy job. Now, if we click on jobs here, we can see in 2056, he resigned as manager of Portugal after a bad run of results at 74 years old. You would think, wouldn't you? You know, you're 74 years old. You've done that with your country. You've won the biggest honours at international level with your country. Just retire, mate. Just give it a day off. But no, he's gone to Italy. He is now the Italy manager. And to make matters worse, in the same year, you know, 4 months later, he was relegated from the European International League. I mean, Ronaldo now, he is 74, and if we look next to that player picture, boys, he is actually going to be retiring. For some reason, lads, it isn't showing me when he's retiring, but I do know that he is retiring in July of this year, so this will be Ronaldo's last managerial job. Let's just go and have a quick scroll through his whole managerial history, and let's just remind ourselves of what he's been through. So if we start all the way down here in 2025, he was Real Madrid's under-19s manager. He then moved to Nottingham Forest 2 years later, where he was sacked. Then in 2029, he was at Queen's Park, and then again in 2031, he was sacked. Went to Ipswich in 2031, didn't really achieve anything of note. 2034, he was sacked. Then in 2035, he went to West Brom, and then he actually left to join Sheffield United in 2037. Now, if you remember the Sheffield United era, you know, he was hired at Sheffield United, he was relegated from the Premier League, but he was also promoted back into the Premier League. So I'd say in 2038 to 2040, Ronaldo actually had a bit of a period in his career where he was, you know, getting relegated, but he also achieved something in getting a promotion to the Premier League, which is not easy to do, of course. He then went back to his playing career club of Al Nassr. He won the Asian Champions League in 2042, which you could say was his first big trophy. He then ran his contract down at Al Nassr and then went to manage Czech Republic, which was just, I think he didn't even know what he was doing, because in 2045 he resigned. In 2045 went to Ukraine, then got relegated from the European International League with them in 2046. And then in 2050 is where he really came home and he really came himself as a manager, as he went to Portugal. In 2052 he won the Euros, and in the 2054 won the World Cup. That 4-year stint there is just 100% by far in this whole experiment, you know, this whole simulation, Ronaldo's glory years. And then of course, most recently he resigned as a manager of Portugal after a bad run of results, went to Italy and got them relegated. I mean, we're now in 2058, you know, the guy is still at Italy as we speak. We're going to simulate until we get to that retirement screen, but I think at this point of the video, boys, I want you to put down in the comments below, I don't want you to spoil anything for anyone in the comments, but rate Ronaldo's managerial career, you know, out of 10. What do you boys think Ronaldo did well? What do you think he did poorly? Rate out of 10. I'm probably going to give him about a 5-6 out of 10. I mean, at club level, you know, he was pretty much useless, only winning that Al Nassr Asian Champions League, but to win the World Cup and Euros with your country is something special, so I would give him a 5/6 out of 10. I think he didn't achieve enough at club level before moving to that international level to be a top manager. Let's simulate to when Ronaldo retires and finally hangs every pair of boots up. And there we have it, lads. At the age of 74, Cristiano Ronaldo steps back from management and leaves football forever. Of course, one of the best players we have ever seen play. Potentially not one of the best managers we have ever seen, but he clearly has left his mark in football with that Portuguese spell with the World Cup and the Euros. If you boys have enjoyed this experiment on the channel, something a little bit different, something fun, something where anything can happen, please leave a like and comment and subscribe. I'm looking forward to doing more of these experiments in the future, especially on FM25 when that new game releases. Leave in the comments any other experiments you would like to see me do. Maybe Lionel Messi as a manager. Maybe you'd like to see me re-simulate some careers of players who never quite made it, like Adriano, Ronaldo, R9, you know. Leave it in the comments, boys. But thank you if you've made it to the end of the video. Thank you for watching it all, and I will see you all on the next video.